crafters, I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Texas, and today I'm going to show you how to create a fun card using nothing's better than stamps and Love You More Than dies, which coordinate with the stamp set, and layering circles dies. I'm also going to be using my product of the week, which is gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. Now today's project is actually only using the gold paper. It's not using the rose gold. I did use that on a project yesterday that you can go see on my blog. This specialty paper is a fun way to add just a little bit of something extra special to all your projects. So let me go ahead and flip my camera so that you can see my desk, and we'll get started creating this card. Okay, so I'm starting with an 11-inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of early espresso cardstock. I have it scored at 5 1/2 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good crease with my bone folder. So my next piece is going to be this piece of Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. This paper comes in 6x6 size, and there's 48 sheets. There's several different patterns, but there's 48 sheets total in this set. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside for now, and I'm going to use this piece of 3x4 basic white cardstock to do my stamping on. So I'm going to begin by placing it on my stamp apparatus. I believe I want it to be about right there, just based on where I put my stamps. So I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler. This matches the Designer Series paper that I'm using. So I'm going to ink up A Day Without, and then I'm going to carefully ink up Is Like. I need to make sure I get that whole comment in there. Don't want to cut that off. I barely got that on my sheet, but that's okay. It works nicely. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my chamois. This thing is amazing for cleaning these photopolymer stamps. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these really quickly, because I'm going to have to use this stamp again when we get to the inside of the card. Okay, so now for the fun bits. I'm going to use this scrap of paper, and I'm just going to stamp the chocolate. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it twice. So I'm using cinnamon cider. Stamp it on that end, and then I'm going to stamp it again on this end. Then I'm going to use early espresso to stamp the second part of the stamp. I love that these are photopolymer, so they're see-through. It makes it really easy to do the placement on these two-step stamps. There we go. Now I'm going to pull out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I am going to be using the mini machine. begin by cutting out these pieces of chocolate. Adjust that, cut out the other ones. Every time I use this set, I feel like I need to eat some chocolate. But then again, I really do like chocolate. Dark chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to do an extra step on one of these. I'm going to grab this largest layering circles die, and it's scalloped. Can you see that scalloped look around the edges of that die? There, it focused. Okay, so I'm going to put this, make sure you see this. So I'm going to do just the edge, just the corner of one of these chocolate pieces. I'm going to cut that off. And what that does is it makes it look like somebody took a bite out of this piece of chocolate. So see there? Now it looks like somebody took a bite right out of that chocolate piece. Okay, so I'm going to set those to the side. And I'm going to get out a scrap of early espresso. I'm out of small scraps of this, so I'm just going to cut a little piece off of this one. Okay. So now I'm going to get that chocolate die. To the side. Then I'm going to use the chocolate die again, and I'm going to cut chocolate out of this gold, not embossing paper, this gold metallic specialty paper. And this paper is thick, it's specialty. It takes a couple of times going through the machine, so I'm just going to make sure that I've really got it pressed through there. Yeah, that didn't cut it, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this and have it going the other direction. Okay, so you can see it did cut, but it's still wanting to all stick together. So I'm just going to very carefully poke that out. You don't want to do this too quickly because you don't want it to accidentally rip some of your letters, but it will pull apart. You just have to be easy with it. And then in a minute I'll use my take your pick tool to poke out all the little letter pieces that need to come out of there. Okay, so I'm also going to use this specialty paper for just an outline of the chocolate. I'm not gonna stamp on this or anything, but I do want this chocolate. This one isn't as intricate, obviously, as the words, so it should be a little easier to, oh yeah, that one's popping right out. There we go. Okay, so there's one more piece that I need with this gold specialty paper. So I'm going to take this circle from Layering Circles. I believe it is the third largest circle. And I'm going to cut a half circle from my specialty paper. And again, this one is not as intricate, so it's not going to take so many times going through. I'm going to do one more just to be sure. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring this back over here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. I'm going to bring it down because I want this to be kind of towards the center of the top. Okay, so I'm going to ink that again with the cherry cobbler. And this time I'm just inking the bottom part that says, "Just kidding, I have no idea." Okay. There we go. Put that to the side over here. Just hear my magnet just snap into place in the back. So it's time to start putting this great thing together. Get my silicone sheet handy. Be needing that in a minute. And my take your pick tool. So I'm going to go ahead and poke out the insides of all these letters. We don't want those on there accidentally. And the gold ones. Careful you don't poke your finger. Some of these gold bits are still kind of stuck, so they're a little bit harder to get out. Oh my Lanta. Sorry about that, y'all. I just realized that my handy microphone was about 4 feet away from me, maybe? I don't know. It was way over there. I forgot to bring it close this time. You might need to adjust your volume. Okay. So I'm going to start by gluing this first piece onto my card base. Make sure before you stick it on there that your design is right side up. You don't want it to be upside down or sideways. Okay, so then I'm going to take this piece. I'm using just the edges of my Stampin' Dimensionals. I don't want to waste those. I'm going to flip this over and put these on the back. I forgot that for some reason, I've never had this problem with these before, but these are just not wanting to let go. Let's see how this does. Ah, perfect. I don't know if I got those slightly damp at some point. I don't know what happened to those. I've never had a problem pulling my dimensionals off before. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the backings off of this, but I'm not putting it on my card just yet. Before I put it on my card, I want to figure out the placement for this piece. So I'm going to put this sticking out about like that. Then, actually I'm going to bring it out just a little bit more. There we go. Then I'm going to add some glue to the back of this gold piece. That way my white piece has a little bit of dimension to it, but everything else is stuck straight to the card base. There we go. And then these pieces I'm going to layer. So I'm going to get a sponge dauber. And I'm going to get a pile of glue in the corner here. I'm going to use my sponge dauber to add glue to the back of this. So you could also use the adhesive sheets. You just have to remember to use them before you use your die cut. And I forget 90% of the time to grab those and use them. I'm just sticking this across the front there, kind of curved. Then I'm going to take the early espresso piece. I did not get enough glue that time. Got a little bit of glue on my fingers, so it's wanting to stick to me. There we go. Then I'm going to layer this over the gold piece so that you can see that gold just peeking out from behind it. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the chocolate and the gold outline for behind the chocolate. I'm just going to stick those together like so. Add some glue to the back of this one. And then I'm going to put these in the corner here. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now we have some fun things to do on the inside too. I'm going to go ahead and add the stamped on piece of basic white. Then I'm going to add this piece of chocolate that has the bot taken out of it. There you go. There's the inside of our card. And just once more, there's the outside. I hope you like this one. It was really fun to make, and I am absolutely loving using this gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. I don't know how I missed that all this time in the catalog, but it is in the annual catalog and adds just a touch of something special to your cards. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and contact me. I would love to do my best to answer those questions. If you would like to place an order, if you place an order this week during my promotion, well, my item of the week, since the item of the week this week is the gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. If you place an order by October 17th using host code HT6KHPRZ, then I will send you a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of the gold and of the rose gold paper with my thank you card, so that you can try it out also. Okay, I hope y'all have a great day. Happy stamping!